Yo, how's it going, people? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the Big Six. I'm here. I know there's only 5 of us at the moment, but Matisse is running late. He's got obligations due to Chelsea playing today, but he's assured me he's going to be here because obviously I need to speak to him, and I know TOBS wants to speak to him tonight as well. So that's going to happen tonight. We're going to put Arsenal, Chelsea on the back burner, and we're going to talk about the other games first, and then we're going to get into the Arsenal, Chelsea, and the Chelsea Villa game now when Matisse gets here. But first, I want to start with Steve and Everton City being called off and Chelsea City this weekend. What's the likelihood of that fixture this weekend going through?
Well, first of all, it was a bit of a shock. I don't think anyone expected it. Obviously, we knew Jesus and Walker was infected. What I'm hearing coming out of City from the Manchester press is that the full training ground is on lockdown. They're classing it as the bubble's been breached. So it would have been risky to put Everton players and staff at risk because obviously I think they found out late today certain tests came back positive. So obviously everyone's disappointed. We all are, but we've got to look at the bigger picture. His lives at risk here. I just hope whoever's caught it makes a full recovery. And I don't know where it lies. I mean, I've been looking on social media and SAEED's mob are all crying for the postponement and all
that. Listen, not me, man. Not me. Steve. No, Steve. Hold on.
Listen, I reckon Old Trafford and just field the youth team and beat them, innit?
No. Watch my tweet. I said, there's more to life than football. So don't put me in the same room. A lot of people see my tweets. I said, relax, guys. It's a health safety battle. You know what I mean? Let's not banter about it.
I'm a bit gutted, to be honest, because we seem to be getting a little bit of momentum back. I mean, all the results have gone for us this weekend, and I thought, you know what, if we can beat Everton tonight, we're right back in the mix. But obviously, it's a little disappointing. I don't know. They reckon they're going to have some more tests tomorrow. I know they can't train now, so I mean, they should be fit anyway. But I just don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Can I say something?
Go ahead or what? Go on.
Apparently, there was a party in the hotel in London. That's what the guy from Being Sports has said. I don't know if you've seen it. He said there was a party that was happening. If that's the case, you know what? That probably changes my mind because then it was a decision for them to be in close proximity with each other. If it's a case of, you know what, they've got COVID and it's happened through natural terms, then I understand it. But if there's a capability that they've had a party, knowing full well that Guardiola probably knew, the club staff knew, you know what I mean? Then maybe there needs to be retrospective action. There's something that needs to be done about that. There may be, I don't know, I'm not saying point deduction, but at least a fine. You know what I mean? To say, you know what, we can't do this. You have to stay in your bubble. You have to stay, you know what I mean, protected and whatnot and keep it. Because at the end of the day now, you know, this is going to happen a lot now, man. There's going to be a lot because the cases are rising. And I just don't want this to keep occurring where players lose their kind of responsibility. You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm sure if there's been a party, you can't get that many footballers in one place without anyone seeing them. So everyone's got camera phones, things will happen, but I can't see it, to be honest. I think everyone's been on tight lockdown. I've looked at a few social media accounts of the players last few days. They're just walking in the park and things like that with the wives and stuff. So,
what about I got sneaky suspicions that it's the Brazilians that are passing it around because we know David.
Edison's got it.
Yeah, we know David Luiz and Gabriel and I think possibly Willian. I'm not sure. I can't remember if Willian had it as well, but we know that they've had some COVID scares as well. And you never know. Maybe that Brazilian connection. Maybe they've linked up with Gabriel Jesus over the holidays or Edison over the holidays because they do hang out with each other. So
of course they do, yeah. It's just disappointing. I mean, listen, us as fans. I mean, I'll be honest with you now. I had COVID about 8 weeks ago. I went to London on business and two of my colleagues caught COVID. They rang me up, told me they had it. I was fine.
Yeah, blame me on us. Blame me on the Londoners. Blame me on the Londoners.
I have no sense of smell and taste, and then I tested positive for it. And I had about 8 days where I was really poorly, and I was just didn't go in hospital, but I got through it. So I know it's there. I know it's real. So, you know, I'm just hoping, you know, we can City get it sorted out. And we have got a big squad. People are saying, oh, you've got a big squad, you can cope, and this, that, and the other. I mean, listen, if they say we've got to play the games, I'll agree with that. We have got a big squad. Let's play the games. Let's throw the kids in and let's just do it. There's no wins.
The confusion lies with the fact that the Premier League at the start of the season said as long as clubs have got 14 fit players, or 14 players that sort of are able to play, the game should go ahead. And that's why Everton have asked for clarification on the matter, like exactly why the game's been postponed. Because the rumours were 3 players of City were tested positive. And then it came out later today that a couple more have tested positive. But it was not made clear if it's the players or the coaching staff or someone. It's a mixture. Yeah. So I mean, Everton have asked for
stuff. And that's your problem with staff, because you can't. You might have 10 left backs, but you haven't got 2 doctors, 2 physios.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean, so I don't know what's going on.
Exactly. So that's why Everton have asked for clarification, which they're entitled to do. And obviously, but some people have what SAEED's referring to. I haven't seen the party situation, but apparently it's they suspect, from a Man City point of view, an insider has said that they suspect that it was from the time they spent when they're over for the Arsenal game, which was last week, wasn't it? And it was from the hotel they stayed at. So let's see what happens. But look, some people are saying, look, first and foremost, absolutely, it's all about health and safety of the players first and foremost, absolutely. And then you go into the sort of the realms of, does it actually help them or hinder them? Because that would be like 3 games they've got to play now. That they're behind. 2 games behind now, or 3 games behind now.
Two
it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be 2 games. But the thing is, it's all about momentum, like you're saying, and we've just got our momentum back. And the last thing Pep Guardiola needs is the training ground shutting down and the game stopping. For us, it doesn't make any sense. If we were struggling, bottom of the league, and we thought, you know what, we look tired, we need a breather here, then all the conspiracy theories will kick in. But listen, it's not like them dodgy food poisoning things from years ago when everyone was ill and they wanted to postpone the game. This is serious. It's a global pandemic, and we've just got to take it on face value until we know any more, and just hope everyone's safe, and let's get back playing football when it's safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a shame it's rearing its head again, but like GRIZZ, Steve, and everyone's saying, obviously the health comes first, and we'll see what 2021 holds for us, because there's only a few days of this year left, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start the next year with the news that football has been postponed for a little while.
That would kill us, man. I'll tell you what, man. That's the only thing that's keeping everyone sane, man. You know what I mean? The people sane. Football has to stay, man. But I see it really does. I see I don't know if it's Doncaster in the League One. They have to now not play 3 games in a row. Just imagine that league as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's mad, man. It really is mad. Yeah,
because Gabriel's got it as well. So if Gabriel's got it, that means we've got the Arsenal squad of last season without Partey and Gabriel. It's the same squad. So we're in for a rough time in the next few games. But it's an unfair, advantage at times, depending on, obviously, look at the way Man City's been hit. Doncaster's been hit. It's out of their hands. It's out of our hands. There's not much anyone can do about it. So it does look likely. But we will get on to the action now. And as much as I want to start with Arsenal, Chelsea, for once I can, be a bit positive about Arsenal. And
what did I say to you, Turkish man?
You did. You were actually the only one, man. You was actually the only one to say Arsenal win.
And Matisse is not here to kind of feel it, and I wanted to give it him. He was like,
"No, we need to make him feel it." So maybe we should wait, man.
Let's wait.
Let's wait, innit?
Because I'm up for that.
We'll wait. We have
to. Let's move over to fossil football and dinosaur football. And Mourinho, let's move on down here. Let's move down here, man.
Say no more. It's been moved. TOBS, talk to us.
Talk to us, man.
About that dinosaur. Oh God!
Yeah, bro, just talk to us, man. Well, obviously, like, what did we all predict? I think the only one to get that one right was none of us. Actually,
no one said draw.
SAEED said draw again. SAEED's the only one that got it right. Everyone else.
How you doing, bits?
Come on, man.
Swear
out here, man. Come on.
How you doing, bits?
Ridiculous.
Get me.
Ridiculous.
Listen, with Mourinho, like, we've been honest with him on this platform for the past couple of weeks now. Like, when he's deserved credit, you give him the credit. But this is why Steve has known me for a long time now, and for as long as he's known me, I've never wanted this Mourinho guy at our club, even when he was doing well. I've always said I wanted Pochettino over this guy, and even if it wasn't Pochettino, I wanted a manager who could actually take the game to the opposition. And if you recall, the last Big Six show we did, all I asked was that he goes to Wolves and takes the game to the opposition, because if he does that, we're going to get a result. And we started off well, first minute on their necks, get an early goal. And we were playing well for the first 20 odd minutes. And then in typical fashion, we drop off. And in the second half, we had one shot, the whole second half in 45 minutes. And it wasn't even on target. And then he comes out at full time saying something like, ask the players if I told them to sit back. They had 89 minutes to score. Even though this is the same guy that's taken off our most creative player at 70 minutes with 20 games left, bringing on Sissoko. And he's saying, ask the players why they didn't score another goal. Like the guy is so negative, and it really, really irks me. And our fans, I feel like they're too reactionary, because when it's going well and they're seeing this brand of football, they'll be like, oh yeah, Jose in, Jose this, that, and the other. You can't. It doesn't work like that. You want a manager who can mix it up. No one has an issue with counter-attacking football, even parking the bus when you're up against a superior side. No one complained when he went to Anfield and parked the bus in the first half and went at it in the second half. Not many people complain when he went to Stamford Bridge and parked the bus. But when you're playing a side like Wolves with no Jimenez, they were playing an 18-year-old striker up top, for heaven's sake. We had the likes of Ndombele, Højbjerg, Harry Kane, Son on the pitch, and they played better football than us. And they played us off the park in the second half. And in all honesty, we're lucky we didn't take an L right at the end, because Fabio Silva should have scored that, and we should have left with 0 points. And I'm not sure if you lot remember, but we played Wolves last year, and the exact same fixture last year. I remember after the game, we won it. Jan Vertonghen scored a late header. And I was fuming about the performance. We got 3 points, but I was fuming about performance, because I said, if we play like this regularly, we're not going to pick up points. Yeah. It's not sustainable. And that's what you've seen there again. Jose Mourinho, at the start of the season, we scored 15 goals in our first 5 league games. And you thought, okay, cool, he's mixed it up now, attacking football. And now, fast forward, we scored I think 10 goals in our last 11 games, or 11 goals in our last 10 games. Since the international break, we've got an expected goals metric of 4.42. It's like we're bottom 5 lowest in the league for chance creation since the previous international break. It's ridiculous. People need to open their eyes and see that this manager cannot play this way against every side. It pisses me off. And he's so lucky that there are no fans in the stadium, because I promise you, if there were fans in the stadium, they would be booing what they're seeing right now. They would be booing. 100%.
I've said that. Sorry, Tobes. Sorry, I thought you finished.
And but to be honest, my last point is Jose Mourinho, he needs to change. But in all honesty, I want him in this job in the first place. I don't care how
Mourinho out then.
Huh?
Are you Mourinho out?
I've been Mourinho out from day one. I didn't want him in the job.
Fair play, yeah.
So this isn't Toby, you're being reactionary. I never wanted him in the job in the first place. So for me, we're stuck with him. I'm just hoping that he can get us top 4 and he can get us a trophy.
Do you agree, Toby? Do you agree that he's changed the mentality of the club?
No, not yet. I don't think he has changed the mentality.
I think he has. Looking at you now, I think you're a different ball game to what you was before. And then I know you don't like Mourinho, but I say to you this: who would you get instead of Mourinho? I know you want Poch, but that boat sailed. He's been there, he's done it, and you sacked him. So who else can you get now to come in and get Spurs playing better than Mourinho?
But the thing is, it's not a case of who we're going to get now, though, because I just said earlier on, regardless of my views, he's not going anywhere. It's not like we can sack it. He's not going. He's earning £15 million a year, Steve. It's going to cost us a heck of a lot of money to get rid of him, and he's not. Me personally, I don't think he's done enough to get sacked at the moment. If I look at the situation in black and white, I don't think he's done enough to get sacked at the moment, because it's not been a disastrous season for us. But I'm just speaking from my point of view in terms of how I want us to play and how I want us to approach games. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But it's not all on him. The performances yesterday were shocking. Kane and Son, they've not been right for the last sort of 3 or 4 league games now. You can see that fatigue is setting in, but it's to be expected when your only tactic is solely dependent on these two working their socks off and playing every game. So they've gone off the boil. Harry Winks came into the team. He had a good performance against Stoke. He's come into the team and he was awful against Wolves. Couldn't string.
Stoke, isn't it? That's his level. Stoke
Didn't offer us any defensive protection. Even Højbjerg played bad. The only shining light in our team was Ndombele, who this guy insists on playing as a number 10, even though he's not a number 10.
In fact, he wasn't knackered though. At the end, you know what I mean.
He wasn't knackered. He wasn't.
He looked knackered though. He looked knackered.
He didn't, bro. He was literally all over the pitch. Every single Spurs fan I've spoken to, we've seen Ndombele knackered. Trust me, we've seen him laboured. He did not look laboured in that game. So to take him off at 70 minutes for Sissoko, that tells me you don't want to win this game. You're happy to sit.
See, that's the thing, Tobes. That's the thing, and I agree with Toby that he has been, because even the first time I spoke to him, and when I spoke to Toby the first time, they were doing well. Do you remember they were like flying, and we were like saying, are they in the title picture? And he was still apprehensive and worried about what Jose brings in totality. Yeah. So, and in totality, this is what Jose does to your club. We know that. Man United fans know that. Yeah. His fear of losing, his fear of losing far outweighs his joy of winning. And it always will be that. He'll always be first, safety first. And I done a little video for Virgin Media. Shout out to my Virgin Video people. That they said they ask about is Spurs title challengers, realistic title challengers. And one of my reasons for saying no was the manager. And everyone was like shocked out, like, how can you say that about one of the greatest managers of all time? And I said, yeah, he was one of the greatest managers of all time. For the last 5-6 seasons, he's not been at all anything but one of the greatest managers. And his tactics, his outlook of the game is so 5-6 years ago. And people have to accept that. And I think a lot of Spurs fans accept that. But his pull and his methods to sort of win a trophy keeps him sort of sane and thinking, look, as long as we win a trophy, but as far as league titles are concerned, forget about it under this coach.
Listen, Tottenham need to start with a trophy. Forget them league titles. They need to start with a trophy. And if Tottenham, if you got to Carabao Cup final, and parked the bus for 89 minutes and caught someone on the counter attack and won the cup, would you be happy? Or would you be on here going mad at Mourinho?
Of course, I'll be happy, but that's not what I'm saying.
Or if you'd have gone to Wolves the other night and attacked Wolves, and played great football and got beat 1-0, would you be happy?
I wouldn't be happy with the result, but I would acknowledge that he's gone for the game. I
just think Tottenham fans need to take a chill. He's changing the mentality slowly. No, just leave it as it is.
I agree.
You'll see.
I disagree.
You can't expect Jose Mourinho.
Let me ask you like this. If this guy wins the League Cup this season for us, and we don't get top 4, do you think Spurs fans are going to be happy with that?
You'll have a statue of him there. You have a statue of him there.
Why not would you happy? Look, you have a trophy.
Listen. We're not paying this guy £15 million a year to just win us the League Cup. What
are you measuring on success? What's your measure of success?
It's not about listen. Success, of course. The black and white objective of success is to win trophies. I understand that. But we have not paid this guy £15 million a year to just come and win the League Cup.
Can I say why you're wrong?
I think you have.
You know why you're wrong? Because your history. You know, Chiellini said it. It's the history of the Tottenham. You know what I mean? It's the fact that you hardly win trophies. If Mourinho gets the Carabao Cup, he has achieved what others have failed. So how is that not?
You know what it is as well. With Jose, I feel like it gets to a point where if the pressure is on, he will actually prioritize the League Cup, because on the back end of it, when I understand, Toby, what you're saying completely, and I actually understand the other point of view too, where trophies are something Tottenham should want, but I understand you're not paying him that, and you didn't sack Poch for the League Cup. Like, that doesn't make sense. But Jose always uses the cups to justify his time at a club. So even if he won the League Cup and was sacked at the end of the season because you finished 5th, he'd turn around and say, well, who was the last manager to win a cup for Tottenham?
It's 5th not where Tottenham are, though.
But that's the part of the frustration. But that's the part of the frustration of being managed by a Jose team Turkish. Yeah, he only looks at it from his point of view, apart from his CV. Well, I won a cup. End of story. Whereas not all Spurs fan, but Toby seems to be the type of fan that wants the overall club being beneficial in the long term. Set up, so they're in a position to be challenging for the title at least. Set them up to be honestly, like regular title challengers, not just League Cup winners and we finish 5th, 6th.
That's a mentality thing as well.
It is a mentality. Steve, I get what you're saying as well, because you're right. They do need to get a trophy.
Mancini wouldn't have won that league for us. The rest of them wouldn't have followed, because Mancini, they didn't like him in the club, but he came in, he kicked everyone's ass. Then all of a sudden, we went from that laughing stock. We got the title just over the line with the Aguero. Then Pellegrini came in after him. He wasn't a great, fantastic manager, but he came into a club that was buzzing, it was vibrant, it was breeding that winning mentality. And next minute, Pellegrini.
Big difference, Steve. Big difference with your club. With your club, you could invest 300, 200 million every season to improve. Spurs can't do that. Spurs have got a short time span where they have to capitalize.
They can't even win a Carabao Cup, so it doesn't matter about investment. This is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So get a Carabao Cup first and then push on from there.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying, we Spurs fans want trophies. We want trophies. But what I'm saying,
want trophies though. You're not winning Premier League. You're not winning the FA Cup.
Yeah, but there's a thing they can. Yeah, but Saeed,
I'm the happiest Scotland fan in the world if you won a trophy. I'd hate to be around at your house when you won a trophy.
The madness of this season, Saeed, the madness of this season was supposed to mean that they could have had a chance of winning this Premier League, because it's a mad season, as we're going to go on to discuss all the results.
You know what they say? So, have you heard the saying called beggars can't be choosers? Has anyone heard that?
Oh, if you're calling them beggars, I don't know, man. If you're calling them beggars,
I'm not saying it though.
Are you calling them beggars? I don't know, man.
I'm saying that Tottenham are beggars, and for me, they can't be choosers.
No one's picking and choosing cups. We want to win the League Cup. We're actively trying to win the League Cup. But what I'm saying to you, at the end of the season, if I just see the League Cup, as happy as that will make me, that's not going to be enough, bro.
Can I say something? Can I rebuttal that? Can I rebuttal that for you? If Mourinho gets a cup, and he finishes 5th, is that a good season?
That's not a good season for us. I'm
days, man. How is that not a good season? Where do you think Tottenham should finish this season? Hold on. Where do you think Tottenham should finish this season?
We need to be finishing in the top 4. We have to finish in the top 4.
Yeah, but look at the quality in front of you, man. You got Man United who's a spending power. You got Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea.
Before a ball was kicked,
where your level is.
Saeed, before a ball was kicked, the majority of people would have had us finishing in the top 4. They would have. Maybe not you, but the majority of people would have had us finishing in the top 4.
Let's ask everyone else.
I'm not even saying top 4.
Who's here?
Huh?
Well, Turkish, where do you think Tottenham would have finished?
What, beginning of the season?
Yeah.
I didn't put them top 4.
Okay, 1 second. I'll go to Steve. Where do you think you're finishing?
I'd have said 4 or 5.
Okay, Grizz. Hold on. Let me finish this question, because you said everyone. Grizz, what's your one now?
Yeah, I can't lie,
there you go, let's end this now.
No, but I think just to defend Toby, not to defend Toby, but because I know it can get emotional when you're in the middle of a chat and a debate. But I think Toby, if we give him back 20 minutes to simmer down, simmer down. I think if we ask him again, trophy and 5th, come on, I think Spurs would take that, man. Trophy, because it's true what Steve says. You need to get a trophy on board.
Have you been to Wembley, Toby? Have you been to Wembley?
I have been to Wembley, yeah.
No, I said like in the cup final day.
No, in the cup final.
There you go, the experience the cup final day, man. It's
what I'm saying is he has a squad that can do both. We can win the League Cup this season and finish in the top 4. Top 4 is still attainable. As bad as the recent results have been, we're still in the
100%.
So that's the point I'm making. For me, if he doesn't finish in the top 4, that's a big problem. I don't care what League Cup. I'll be happy with the League Cup itself as a trophy. But if he doesn't finish in the top 4, that's a big problem. And I'll tell you why it's a big problem. It's a big problem because even though we didn't spend 2 million this summer, the backing that we gave him in terms of identifying the weaknesses of the team and going out and setting about signing players to fill each flipping gap in the team, Pochettino never had that. So we've given him this backing in totality. You wanted about 5 or 6 or 7 players, all different positions in the team. We improved at least like 3 or 4 starting positions from our first side. He got that. Pochettino never had that totality of backing. So now the expectation is you've had this back in a period where we've got no money. We're out of the Champions League. We've got a stadium to pay. You're on 50 million a year. I'm telling you, League Cup and no Champions League, it's not going to be enough. I promise you, it's not going to be enough, and fans will not be happy with that. I promise you.
Oh,
You know what? Daniel Levy thinks the opposite of what you think, you know. And how bad is that? Daniel Levy thinks the opposite of what you're thinking.
Daniel Levy be buzzing with a Carabao.
Exactly.
You know why he doesn't? You know why he doesn't? Because, as I said, when they Ramos in 2007, 2008, he won us a cup. We were happy. We were
Different era, Tony.
We finished 11th, and within 6-7 months' time, he got sacked because he left us in the relegation zone with 2 points from 8 games played. So I'm telling you this, a League Cup is not going to save Jose Mourinho. It's not going to save Jose Mourinho. He has to get Champions League.
What can save him then? What can save him?
I told you, he has to get Champions League football this season. It's not going to save him from the fans. Daniel Levy might accept 5th spot. And
can I say something to you? You know, Champions League football, yeah? You know, it's all good and well, and you know, you live in life and you get into the pot, you know, Tottenham, whippy-do, you know, you're in pot 2. You go out of that in the group stage, yeah? We haven't gone out in the group stages. Hypothetical argument. You go out the group stage, you know, but then you've still got that Carabao Cup final, the day at Wembley, cup. A lot of teams, look at us, man. We're starving for a cup, mate. I want a cup. I want to win something.
SAEED, I don't think you're getting my point.
I don't care about top 4 and all that nonsense.
I'm not saying I don't want a trophy, but I'm saying what I'm saying is, why does it have to be one or the other? I want us to get both. So if he only gets one, that's not enough. Same way, if he got top 4 this season, but we didn't win the trophy, I'd be disappointed as well, because this squad is capable of doing both. Simple.
You know what it's not capable of doing? Getting past halfway line. And you're talking about all this top 4, mate. They're not even capable of going past halfway line.
Speak to the manager about that.
Well, listen, you know what I mean? That's your manager. That's not mine. But I still believe, Toby, Tottenham need Mourinho. Tottenham, as much as we say it, yeah, Tottenham need Mourinho to change the whole kind of aspect of the football club. It needs a winning mentality, and it's going to be painful. Listen, I've been through it for 3 years, mate. You know what I mean? And it's been absolutely awful. But what have we got out of it, yeah? He's been the most successful manager since Sir Ferguson. He's been the most successful manager. And that is what we'll see on the bread and paper. Everyone talking about Ole, this and that. He's a legend of football club. At the end, yeah, if he doesn't have no trophies yet, he's failed. And that's the bottom line, guys. It's all about winning trophies. Trophies determine where you are.
Apparently, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, well, we will. Anyway, talking about trophies, if we look at 2020 and talk about trophies, it looks like Arsenal have had a good year, but in the big scheme of things, it's been one of our worst years in history, I believe. You know, the trophy doesn't mask that. The trophy is history, but sometimes it's hard, you know. It is hard because football is about winning trophies, full stop. But at the same time, it can paper over cracks. It can, you know, hide the truth at times, especially cups like the League Cup and FA Cup and even the Europa League. You know, if you've got any aspirations to challenge for the league or Champions League, I just feel like none of those competitions and winning them mean you are going to put a worthy challenge on the next season, you know.
Do you know what, old Turkish, right? I remember having a conversation with my mate years ago, at the game, and he said to me, if we win a League Cup in our lifetime, I'd be happy with you. And I said, yeah, that is how desperate I was to win a trophy then. So what I'm saying is, if you come from a team like a little bit like Arsenal, where you do win the odd trophy and you're used to that top 4, then your expectations are a little bit higher and you can sort of fluctuate. But no disrespect to Toby, when you come from a team that ain't winning shit, get the trophy in the bag first before you start wanting a trophy and the Champions League, because you can't even win the one. So that's what SAEED's saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I understand Toby's passion for Spurs. But what I'm saying is, don't be saying you want this, this, and this when you can't get the first one in the bag.
But Steve, why can't I? We're in the semi.
Be realistic. That's what I'm saying. Be realistic.
I am being realistic. We're in the semi-finals of the League Cup. Yeah, and if we win, if Man United drop points tomorrow and we win on Wednesday, we're up to 3rd or 2nd in the league. That's how volatile the league is this season. We're 2 games away from winning a League Cup. So you're telling me that we can't win that League Cup and then finish in top 4? That's unrealistic of me to say that.
No, I'm saying that. I'm saying you're basically saying if you win the Carabao Cup, then it won't be classed as a success without the top 4. But you're not a team that wins.
I never said it's not. I said it's not enough. I said it's not enough. It's not enough.
I think
99% of Tottenham fans, that's enough. Trust me.
It's not enough. I think you're speaking to, but I promise you, a League Cup and no top four.
Let's get a poll up, Turkish or something like that. Let's get a poll.
I think what Toby probably wants to see, and I'm trying to get into his mind and see it from his mind because from a Tottenham mind. No, but I agree with Steve overall because getting the trophy on board is vital for a club, especially a club like Spurs who haven't had many trophies, just like City were the same. Yeah. As he says, they didn't have a history of trophies, but it was a springboard, and Liverpool have done that in the past as well. Back in the early, we owned that cup. Yeah, it was called the Milk Cup. Yeah, so let me give you a history lesson. Yeah, but when it was the Milk Cup, we owned that cup, just like City owned this, whatever it's called now, some energy drink cup. Yeah, but the point being, the successful teams of that era, own that trophy, so it has some significance to it. Yeah, so it's a springboard. People use it, but I think Toby wants to see. Toby, am I right in saying, what if you won a cup and you finished 5th, right? But you was unlucky to finish 4th, but you saw a way of playing, and you had injuries because you want to see a way of playing that you can progress. At the moment, you're not liking the way of playing, and you can't see a future in that way of playing bringing you success. Am I right?
Yep. You know what? That scenario, I'll be happy with that. I'll take that scenario. But that's the problem. We don't. The reason why I'm saying I want top 4, and I want top 4, and we should be winning a trophy this season. The reason why I'm saying that is because the whole narrative around Jose Mourinho is he's a guy who's coming to results. That's the reason why we're paying him the big bucks. That's the reason why we're paying him 15 million a year. We're not paying him 15 million a year to perform to the level that previous managers have performed to, because no other manager was earning 15 million pound a year. We're paying him 15 million pound a year, and we've given you this backing that you had this summer to get us to where we want to be, which is in the top 4 spots and with a trophy. So what I'm saying now is, why are the expectations the same, even though we've gone out and we've bought this alleged winner who brings results, whose turgid style of football gets results? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Trying to have the same.
It's no divine right, though. It's no divine right.
I never said it's a divine right. I never said it's.
It sound like it, though.
It doesn't sound like that. You asked me. I never said it's a divine right. You
said Tottenham should be in top 4.
No, I never said Tottenham should be in top 4. I said we should try and look to finish in the top 4. We don't have a divine.
You want to be in top 4.
We want to be in the top 4, and we have to try and finish in the top 4. We don't automatically deserve to be in the top 4. But what I'm saying to you is, you don't pay a man 15 million pound a year.
You're going on that 15 million's your money, mate. It ain't your money. Let you spend your leaves. Forget the 15 million. Don't matter about that. Forget that.
Okay. You know what it is? You have to look at it from the different perspectives. That's why you're all right. If you look at it at Tottenham's history and you say you need a trophy, that's right. But if you look at it like, well, this team just made Champions League final, moved into a new stadium. They broke their transfer record. They sacked their, successful manager, in a sense, who's transitioned them into this position to essentially kick on. And winning the League Cup isn't really kicking on from that Champions League final and breaking your transfer record. It might be kicking on when we look at it on history-wise and say, well, they've never won. Well, they haven't won nothing in a long time. It's kicking on in that sense. That's why every single opinion so far has been right. That's my opinion. No,
I agree with Toby, but sometimes I look at it and the old saying is beggars can't be choosers. One step at a time. You know what I mean? Maybe get the trophy, then that builds the foundations on to say, we're confident now. Let's get the top 4, and then we can bring another trophy in. But slowly and slowly build up the foundations. Give Mourinho time.
I'm agreeing with SAEED. What's going on? I'm agreeing with SAEED.
My last point on this, the whole notion of why Mourinho plays this horrific, turgid style of football is it brings results. It gets you trophies. It gets you into the top 4. So why is it so bad that I'm saying, okay, if you're going to make me put up with this crap football, you're going to make me put up with my team not mustering a shot on target in the second half against an inferior opposition, I want to see something tangible out of it. So if I'm asking for a top 4 finish in a trophy whilst having to watch this ridiculously awful football where we're not even creating chances regularly, what is the issue with that? What's the issue? Everyone keeps telling me it's a results-based business and he's the king of getting results. So go and get the results. Simple as. Simple as.
We've got Kevin here with a super chat. We appreciate that, Kevin. He says Toby's right. Only 2 cup games left, and one is against the championship side. They still have to get top 4. And I guess when you look at it like that too, it's a bit mad. 2 cup games can't really justify Mourinho having a successful season. Again, when you look at it that way, that makes sense too. But we might as well move on because we're already half an hour in, and Matisse is shortly coming in, people. But obviously the likes are not high enough. I need to see over 500 likes, and then when I see Matisse, I'll drop him in, and we'll get going on the the issues at Chelsea. For once, Arsenal, we can get onto Chelsea. But before we do move on, we've got fixtures coming up midweek. Tottenham, Fulham. Tobes, you might as well give me a prediction on that. It's a good game to have.
2-1. It's going to be a scrap. We're not going to play well. You're going to see us have a spell of dominance, but you're going to see us give Fulham a lot more of the ball than we'd like. But we should win. We're at home. I'd like to see some players rested, some fringe players come in, but I reckon we'll scrape that 2-1.
2-1, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, Grizz, what about you? Tottenham, Fulham?
Tottenham, Fulham, boy, Toby's confidence looks shattered, talking about scraping through, yeah?
Yeah.
I think you need to beat him nice, man. I think you need to beat him nice, and I think this is the game to do him, because even though Fulham have been nice and sort of on the upward curve, they're still having to play a lot of games in a short space of times with a stretch squad. So I'm going 2-0 Spurs, 2-0.
2-0. That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking it's the right game at the right time. SAEED, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Grizz. I think it's going to be Fulham are going to play the better football and then be naive at the back, and then Tottenham will counter it. And I feel like, Tottenham will do what they got to do. We smash and grab, and I think we'll get 2-0.
I don't think they'll be that naive at the back, Just look at the way they defended against Liverpool. I think they fully know what
I meant in the way that, they'll try and think that the game is there, and then boom, Tottenham will have their quality and hit them on the back.
Yeah.
What about you, Steve?
I think Tottenham will win easy, mate. I think they'll beat him easy. I think they bounce back, they'll win 3-0, they're at home. He's going to get a reaction out of his players. Obviously, he's getting a bit of criticism. And I think 3-0. I think Toby will be happy. I think you should start getting a Samaritan's number on the bottom, scrolling across, and then Toby can just write it down, and then afterwards you can have a chat with someone and sort yourself out.
Good
luck. All right, someone needs to give him a cuddle. If I could put my hands in the screen here, Toby, I'll give you a big squeeze. Yeah? Cheer up, man.
COVID cuddle.
Easy win for Tottenham for me, 3-0.
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards an easy win as well. I think they'll bounce back, and I think 3 maybe. Yeah, I think maybe I'm gonna go for a 3-1.
That has got it 1 at the minute.
Exactly.
It's true, but when Kane and Son, they find that partnership, especially against Fulham, it could be all hands on deck for them. But we'll get Matisse's prediction when he comes on, and we'll move on to what should we move on to next from the weekend, because there's a lot of draws in there.
Let's go Liverpool, man.
Should we go Liverpool, or should we bring Matisse in? He's ready to come in.
Let's bring him in, man.
Let's bring him Matisse in. You know what I mean?
Are we on 500 likes yet, people? We're not even on 500 likes yet. Nah, we're not bringing Matisse in. Until 500 likes, we're going to move on to Liverpool. Grizz, talk to me, man. 1-1.
Yeah, it's not often Jurgen Klopp gets, in my opinion, and a lot of Liverpool fans, had goals at me for this, and how fans can get tribal, and even your own fans can get vicious if they don't like your point of view. But I thought Big Sam done a number on Jurgen Klopp, and I haven't got an issue with saying that. I don't think it's always, that Klopp's going to outdo every single manager. They can have a bad game. I think our team had a bad game, and I think our manager had a bad game. That's the way it is. We started off like a house on fire, Turks, man. I thought, boy, this West Bromwich is going to get it today. For the first 15 minutes, we played some football. But as soon as we scored that goal, and let's not get twisted, I've never seen a formation as you can no, Tobes, you laugh, but it's serious, bro. Right? You know what happened? No, because every team plays 5-4-1 or 4-5-1. But you know what the denominating factor is? I mentioned there is the one. This kid doesn't even have one. He had 6-4, right? So what was happening was it was just pure 10, just like in their half, right? About 7 in the penalty area and about 3 just ahead of them, right? So it's difficult, but they're entitled to play like that. That's up to them. There's no right or wrong way of playing football. They've got to do what they've got to do. We've got to do what we do. And we face that kind of shit most weeks, and this thing about we can't break down teams. Oh man, you don't have the last 3 years record with us without being able to break down teams. We broke them down in the first 15 minutes, and then we thought, we got them. They need to come out a little bit. Fuck that. They didn't come out shit. He stayed. He said, we don't care. 1-0 makes no difference to their mindset. And that's what confused us, in my opinion, because we didn't know whether to carry on attacking or just keep the ball now, kill them off. Yeah, like Man City tried to do a couple of weeks earlier. Do you remember, Steve? Exact same scenario, and they didn't move. They didn't move from their positions, and fair play to them. And we didn't have the same impetus. We didn't have the same drive to get that second goal because we thought we've got the goal. So normally when you get a breakthrough against these teams, you think, yeah. So the first 15 minutes, madness. Next 30 minutes, we just kept the ball and it was boring. Second half, he shocked us and tried to come out for the first 10, 15 minutes. And I'm afraid Mr. Klopp, who is the greatest manager, in my opinion, in world football and is our everything. Yeah, I'm not even going to start saying anything bad about him overall, but it's normal to have a break, to switch off for one game. And I thought he froze. I thought he didn't make enough decisions in terms of personnel changes when he could have. He wasn't brave enough. He just stayed there. We were in a stalemate. We didn't know whether to go forward or stick with a 1-0 and look. But then the more the game progressed at 1-0, you know what's going to happen, innit? You know they're going to get a set piece. You know they've got like 7 6-footers in their team. One of them's going to get in for a long throw or a set piece. And look, that's what happened. And even though it was from a mistake from Curtis Jones and the centre-back, as soon as Matip went off and a 19-year-old kid came on, you knew they're going to bombard that area of the pitch with Trent, Jones, and Reece Williams. And that's what they've done. They got a set piece and they deserve their draw. We go again. But look, I know I predicted a Liverpool win, but I said this is a mad season and shit like this can happen. And it's happening. And so it's not a shock, shock to me. But, it's a bit of a setback, I'd say.
Yeah, no one predicted that one, Grizz. Everyone predicted a comfortable Liverpool win. Not even SAEED pulled that one out of the bag.
Yeah, so. Not even me, man. Not even me. I just thought, they got sloppy, man. I think Robertson was poor. That second half, he kept giving the ball away. I think the keeper's positioning was a bit all over the place. I just feel like, they gave it into West Brom, man. And
you know what is it? Say, we slept walk through that game. Once we got a goal, we just slept. We were in
is that arrogance for you? Is it a bit arrogant from Liverpool?
No. It's not arrogance.
I don't know.
It happens.
I know it happens, but there was a certain moment of, we'll win this game. We'll just win it.
No, that's not arrogance. It happens to every player, man. It happens to every team. It happens to so many teams. It's happened too, and it's not arrogance. We were caught, as I said, sleepwalking. He got us into this thinking of everything's fine. We're in control here. It's not arrogance. It's comfort. We were too comfortable. That game was too easy for Curtis Jones at times. Gini didn't have nothing to do. Normally, Gini's a monster, cutting out passing lanes, intercepting. He was just strolling, passing it sideways. It was too easy. It wasn't arrogant like, it was comfortable. And you can never be comfortable in this league. And this never be comfortable in this league.
And this is why I always say, man, Man United have the best squad, because Liverpool squad there, for me, it lacks something. You brought an Oxlade-Chamberlain. I thought, is that going to be a game changer? I just feel like maybe Liverpool might have to buy in January. I know you're missing Jota. I know you're missing a lot of players, but maybe, and Origi is not good enough for me. He's not good enough, man. You know what I mean? It's just, it comes on the periphery of games, and I feel like, he doesn't make an effort on it. It doesn't make an impact.
I think it's harsh. I think it's harsh. I think you're being harsh. Just one thing, just quickly on that. I think it's harsh to say that, and in the same sentence say we've got Jota missing, we've got Thiago missing. We've got, it doesn't make sense.
I'm not saying that.
So plus, you got to remember, we have got Shaqiri on the bench. No, what I'm saying is we have got Shaq on the bench who we could have brought on. Do you remember we brought Shaq on against you guys? And he wrapped you up. Do you remember? Yeah, Shaqiri.
Oh, Shaqiri, bloody hell, Shaq. I was like, what's going on?
So we can bring on players that have got reputations of wrapping up teams like we done against you lot. Yeah, we brought on Shaqiri and he wrapped you up 2 goals. Remember? So he could have made better decisions. You mentioned Origi. Yeah, Origi. Most Liverpool fans will say to you, he's not good enough. So that was another scrambled move. I think it was scrambled thinking from the players and the coach. And Allardyce done his job. I don't think Allardyce should be credited with a masterclass because Bilic got the same result at Man City a couple of weeks ago. So you can't say this was a masterclass. What you can say is Allardyce done his job and he got a fair reward for it. I wouldn't call it a masterclass, but he done his job.
I think Big Sam there has just come in that week and gone, right, what's in the best performance this season? Man City away. You got a point. We've got to set ourselves up like that. You've got to do this, do that. And he just let them do the basics. And I'm telling you now, I've seen it myself. It's so hard to break a team down when they're so dogged like that. And he would have had them well drilled. And Liverpool can have all the quality they want. And then it just happens some games. You could have... You've seen Barcelona with Messi and everyone trying to get at a team who've got 10 behind the ball. You can't do it. Celtic beat Barca one year and had about 5 touches of the ball. So it just happens. I mean, I looked at that game and I thought, you know what? They've done it to us the other week. They've got a new manager in and they've dug deep at Anfield and they've got a point. Fair play. I wouldn't criticise Jurgen. I won't big up Allardyce. I'd just say it's one of them things. It's the attack versus defence. And it was a stalemate. That's my opinion on it anyway.
Yeah.
We'll move on to a prediction from GRIZZ first for the Newcastle-Liverpool game.
Yeah, it's going to be messy again. This is going to be another tricky one, tough one. You know, Bruce is from they went to the same school, you know, him and Allardyce. They hang out with each other from back in the day. So I can see it, same tactics being employed. The only thing that will be different is because they're going to think they've got a chance, more chance than West Bromwich because they've got Callum Wilson and, you know, the likes of Joe Winton or Dwight Gale who will think they can cause our defense because we've got no Matip now. We're going to have that 19-year-old playing at the back. So they're going to think they can attack us more. And that's when we're at our most dangerous. So I'm still confident, but I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to smack them up for cert. I'm going 2-1 Liverpool.
2-1 that game. And the chat is saying free Matisse. So, yeah, I don't know if he wants to be freed, people, but you want him to be freed. So here he is. Free Matisse.
It's a sticky one still, people.
Hello, friend. My brother.
It's a little bit of a sticky one.
It's all good, man. It's all good, man. Listen, you always, you got to come through these adversities to reach the top, man. You got to, you know what I mean, front. It's not a problem. Come 100%. Talk to us. Therapy. You know what this is? Therapy. Give him some therapy.
We're gonna move on to that one. We're gonna move on to that one real soon. I just want to. We might as well ease Matisse in now with a prediction for the Newcastle-Liverpool game.
Well, yeah, I was a bit shocked that Liverpool. I think everybody predicted that Liverpool would win the game, so I was very shocked that they dropped points. And I think I'm just learning now that every top team in Europe just look a little bit of a shadow of themselves this season. Like it's crazy when you look around the European leagues, but I still give Liverpool the win, man. I think this is just a minor dip, and I'd give them the win against Liverpool. I think they just got against Newcastle. I think they just got too much quality for them. So same thing I thought against West Brom. I just don't think Liverpool will go on a run of dropping points.
So are you going to give me a prediction or?
2-0, I think. I'll go 2-0, yeah. I'll go back with what I went with West Brom.
2-0. Before I move to Toby, you missed the Tottenham-Fulham prediction as well. So just give me a quick one for that, score-wise.
Tottenham?
Yeah, Tottenham-Fulham, yeah.
Okay. Who's at home? Is Tottenham at home for that?
Yeah.
I have to give it to Tottenham as well, yeah. I have to give it to Tottenham. I'll probably go 2-0 to them as well. I think I'm shocked everybody's dropped points this weekend, but it is what it is.
Because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna like tally the points every week. So the correct scores get 3 points, and then the correct result get 1 point, and we'll make a little table out of it.
You never told me that. When are you starting that?
I've got the scores from the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, well, you played that. You just did it for jokes.
I thought it's for jokes, man. Sorry.
No, come on, man.
Okay. I'm going to start being serious.
What do you really think of teams then?
You know what? I thought it's jokes. You know, like when you listen to SAEED, I thought it's joke thing, innit? When you listen to SAEED, okay, listen, so it's serious.
Yeah. I got results this weekend, mate.
No, you did. You did. No doubt.
Yeah, Toby, what are you saying for the Newcastle-Liverpool prediction?
Liverpool are going to win that game, man. It's not going to be like an easy game, but I don't think it's going to be as difficult as the game they've just played against West Brom. I think I think Newcastle, in their last 7 matches, they've lost like 4 games in the league. Like, this is a team that were playing against a 10-man Fulham for a large part of the second half, and they still couldn't break them down. I don't really rate Newcastle. I don't think they're that good, and I don't think they're as strong defensively as people make them out to be. I can't remember what their conceded goals tally is like. I'm just quickly going to double check it, but they've conceded 24 goals in the league this season. I would back Liverpool, their attack, to go there and win that game 3-1. I don't think Newcastle are going to pose any serious threat to Liverpool, and I think they'll bounce back.
3-1, yeah. SAEED, what about you?
Listen, I'm not giving any respect to Newcastle, mate. Listen, they were awful, mate. That if we talk about anti-football Mourinho, mate, that Steve Bruce, man, bloody hell, mate. They didn't even go to halfway line against Man City. Literally, I know, Steve, you watched that game, mate, but bloody hell, man. I just thought, go at, you know what I mean? You got Alba on, you got a couple of players in there. Go for it, man. Listen, Liverpool 4-0, mate.
Liverpool 4-0, yeah?
4-0, man. Newcastle and dog shite, mate.
Steve, what about you? Talk to me.
I'm going to go Liverpool 3-1. I just think, Newcastle, they didn't want to play against us. They're definitely not going to want to play against Liverpool. But like GRIZZ was saying, part of that Newcastle team will think they've got a chance. And no matter what Bruce says, a few of them are going to go a bit giddy and they're going to end up trying to bomb on and just going to get picked off. So I think it'll be 3-1 Liverpool, mate.
3-1 Liverpool, and I think 4-1. I'm going to go with a 4-1 Liverpool because I think we're going to bounce back. Salah he's only had a couple games this season where he hasn't had a contribution, and that was one of them just passed. So I expect him to bounce back and nick a goal or two. So I'm going to go with a 4-1 Liverpool win. And yeah, let's move on to the one we should have started with. Boy, I can't lie to you. I'm not. Listen, you lot know me. Yeah, I'm not gonna run away with this result. So I might give the stage to Toby right now because his smile is the biggest. But one thing I want to ask, Matisse, is it cold over there?
It's not too cold, you know. I'm not gonna
how comes the video down there when you was down there, you had another top on and then you put that jacket over it? What's happening?
Oh, boy.
Say no more. All right,
like I said, it's a sticky one. Do you know what I mean? It's a sticky one. It
definitely is a sticky one. I can't lie to you. Let me talk to me first, Matisse, because it can go from there. Like, obviously, I know the problems. We know the problems at Arsenal. Where's it going wrong, mate?
Toby looked like he just seen his first love. What's going on?
I'm just taking it in.
I'm coming. I'm seeing Toby smiling, glistening. I'm seeing the chat hyping it up. You man are too happy. You're too happy for my demise.
That's his stuff, isn't it? That's why.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, if I'm being deadly serious, I've been going through so many different points as to what is going wrong with us. And first of all, like, the tension in our fan base for a start is rising rapidly, man. It is getting toxic. It's literally in, out, and it's 50-50 split. I'm seeing polls on Twitter, 25,000 votes, good solid amount of votes to base your opinion on what's going on. And I'm seeing real 51%, 49 is real tight. And let's just stick it on Frank from the beginning. He has to take responsibility. And for me, after that Arsenal game, to start with that, he came out and blamed the players, and you've done that a few times now, and it gets a bit old. At some point, you have to take responsibility, and he's not doing that. Obviously, people are going to ask me straight off, am I Frank Lampard out? No, I'm not. But I am certainly working my brain and making sure that, listen, I'm trying to see progression in the next couple of weeks, because one thing I've been saying the last few weeks on my own socials is, if we don't finish in the top 4 this season, he has to be sacked immediately. Like, that's not acceptable. There's a bare minimum, and I've spoken about it so many times with other clubs, so I have to hold the energy. There's a bare minimum that you cannot drop below. And when you bring in the new players that you do, I expect our team to be better, but also, of course, there's going to be an adaptation. But you don't drop below where you finished last season, which was 4th. So if we come out of the top 4, that would be a sackable offence. And he's got to turn the corner very quickly, because Roman we won't tolerate us not having player development, the players not improving, bad results. If we get really far off the top 4 and we're not looking like we're in the race, which at the moment is very tight because everybody else is dropping points, and that's the context, is that everybody in Europe, all the big teams are dropping points, so it doesn't look as bad for him because everybody else is doing so poorly. But as a Chelsea fan, I don't like to make excuses of, other teams are playing poorly, so my team can play shit. You know, if we're not playing well, then I need to know why. And I go to the coaching team and I say to myself, is there any experience in our coaching team? You look at, you know, Arteta under Pep, John Terry at Aston Villa, secondary in command. If Frank Lampard's the main man, at least for me, I wanted to see, you know, a Steve Holland, a Clark, a Clement, you know, these guys that have worked under the Ancelottis and the Mourinhos that have a bit more experience at the top level. We have a very young coaching staff. And that's something that I've looked at in the last few days as that a reason as to why we look so poor? Because for me, Frank, right now, there's no plan B. You know, it's very much cross. But where's the secondary formation? Where's the plan B? What are you going to do? And to talk about Arsenal, we had Giroud on the bench, but we whipped in 34 crosses. What the hell's that about? Why is Werner starting left wing, not Pulisic? Why is Werner starting off rip? Why is he starting? Why is Hudson-Odoi, who came on against Arsenal for 45 minutes, played very well tonight against Aston Villa, despite drop points? Why didn't he start against Arsenal? These are all the questions that I'm asking now. And if I can't think of any answers, then I can't make any excuses, so I won't. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, it's a sticky one. Like you said, you started it with it's a sticky one, and it's definitely a sticky one over
there. Lampard out at the end. It looked like a monologue that was going.
Yeah, man.
No, it's not. Do you know why it's not? Because again, context for me. And by the way, because I believe in his managerial wise, he's so inexperienced. We all know that. But because I believe in his intelligence to get himself out of this, I've seen bad form before many times. So just because we're in bad form, I'm not going to say, right, you got to go. And we all know this. We're all on social media platforms. When you make that decision, it's not like flipping a coin. If you make that decision where you're the manager out, you can't change your mind again. That's a very big decision to make as a fan. And I've never done #out any manager because I always stay the course.
All right, man.
So it takes a lot. Yeah, it takes a lot for me to go manager out, especially publicly. I haven't done it. So, and even if I was to make that decision, if we was 10 points or 15 points off top 4 at some point in like March, then I'm obviously going to say he needs to leave. But I won't even say out as a hashtag. I'll just say he needs to part ways, just to do it respectfully. Same thing with Arsene Wenger and Arsenal. Even though I agreed with them, I didn't believe in, you know, Arsene Wenger out as a hashtag. And I think this generation and this group of fans in this era, they're very tribal and they love a good movement and a hashtag and an out and all this, and it's all fancy and all that shit. For me, I'm not in that. If I've got respect for the man in charge, and I have to have respect for Lampard for what he's done for the club, you know, you have to. That is part of it. Unfortunately, it shouldn't be, but it is. I have respect for him, a basic respect. Where I'm not going to drive a social agenda of Lampard out. If I get to that point where he needs to leave, which I will get to that point if he doesn't get to the top 4, then I'll just say it's time to part ways, and I'll keep it respectful. But that will be the situation.
Yeah. What's your opinion, Tobes?
I mean, let me just read the Arsenal lineup to you. So
Please
Hector,
don't.
Bellerin, Rob Holding, Pablo Mari, Kieran Tierney, El Neni, Xhaka, Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe, Gabriel Martinelli, and Lacazette. If you saw this lineup against Dundalk on Thursday in Europa League, you'd say, yeah, that's about right. It's a Europa League squad. Mm-hmm. That is the squad that Chelsea conceded three goals to on Sunday.
And by the way, it could have been 6.
Mm. And I'm sorry. I hear what Matisse is saying about the tribalism and stuff, but even a blind man could see that Frank Lampard is just not equipped for this job. A blind man can see it. His rotation of players, his tactics, his substitution in matches. Last season, it was he couldn't defend set pieces, and he was switching, chopping, and changing too much. This season, he's not using Timo Werner well. He's not integrated Havertz properly into the team, etc., etc. There's always one thing or another. The guy fundamentally is not the man to take Chelsea forward. I thought his contract was up at the end of this season. I thought, okay, you know what? Roman might give him to the end of the season. He will just cut ties and get a new manager. But I didn't even clock that they gave him a 3-year deal instead of a 2-year deal. I personally see it ending in tears for Frank Lampard this season. I think he's going to get sacked because Roman Abramovich has sacked managers for less. Managers who have done more for Chelsea have been sacked for less. Yeah. Di Matteo won them an FA Cup and a Champions League, and within 3-4 months' time, he got sacked. So what makes people think that Frank Lampard being given a 225 million pound war chest, yeah, is going to survive this season, scraping or possibly missing out on top 4 and possibly getting no trophies. It's not going to work with Roman. Sorry, got exactly like say. Sorry,
Europa League, man.
Got 4th spot and Europa League, and he got canned.
He finished
third.
Third, yeah.
Yes, there you go.
So
Chelsea fans are disrespectful, man.
They are.
They are very, very disrespectful, man, towards their managers.
Now what? He's what? In the last 5 Premier League matches, he's lost 3, he's drawn 1, he's won 1. And in all these Premier League matches, the performances have been bad. Even the game against West Ham, the performance was bad.
It's been coming though.
Performance.
Why
bad.
is everyone surprised though? It's
It's
been
so
coming.
difficult to do a stream watching SAEED like this. It's just not.
No, but Matisse though, it's been happening though. you kind of stumbled towards top 4. Why were the warning signs not there when you stumbled towards top 4?
Because last season when we stumbled, to be honest, if you look at where we predicted ourselves to finish, where you predicted us to finish, probably where experts finished.
No
one had us to finish top 4.
I'm in the manner you went down, though. In the manner, I'm not talking about where you positioned it. I'm on about in the manner, the way he lost to Sheffield United, the way he was just a bit like, he kind of lost control.
For me, last season is not part of the issue because I didn't expect us to finish top 4. Whatever manner we got there, And for me, when I look at our team that had Willian in it and other players like that, for us to finish top 4 with all of those new youngsters that came from the Championship that no one rated, for us to finish top 4 last season was for me, that was good. That was a good season. This season, that's not acceptable. So for the bare minimum to even be top 4 is still wrong. For me, it was top 3 and a trophy. So top 4 is still potentially going to be a sackable thing for him. So
why waste your time then? Why are you wasting your time then?
Well, because like I said, I'm making sure that I don't make any hasty decision because as a fan, when you're on a public platform, and as many public platforms as you need to make sure that you deep the whole situation. And like I said, the one bit of context that is going around that is a valuable thing to look at is every single top team in Europe is underperforming. And I don't know why. Well, another thing that I'm looking at is Lampard is obviously going with a pressing game and it's very high intensity. Probably the wrong thing to be trying to do in a pandemic season, a season where you're playing back-to-back games every 3-4 days. To be doing that is just wrong. And Toby speaks about the starting lineup. I can't tell you, that's probably his worst defeat on record as Chelsea manager, worse than the Sheffield United game, because at least the Sheffield United game, he was tactically outclassed.
That's sackable, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Arsenal game.
That's sackable.
Do you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. Under most time it would be. And do you know what? More time with other foreign managers, this Chelsea fan base, I think it would be probably swayed even more.
Is it sentiment now? Is it sentiment now?
There is 100% sentiment, but I have to say as well is that I'm lucky in a sense that, like I said, everyone's boiling point is different. So I'm generally pissed, but it's not over the edge. I'm not there yet, but I have to say the way this fan base treated Sarri in that season that you just described.
Disgrace, yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, that ain't me. Do you know what I mean? I was very much ready to see him for a second season. I know he wasn't perfect, but to do what he did in his season for the fan base to treat him how they did, booing him and all that shit. A lot of people are showing their double standards with not giving him time, but giving Frank Lampard this season and not having anything bad to say about it. There's people making all sorts of stupid excuses. One thing I won't do for Frank is I won't make dumb excuses. I'm not going to say Klopp got time, so should Frank. Klopp was at Mainz in Germany, took them up a division, then won Bundesliga with Dortmund and won Champions League. Dumb excuse. Twice. So stupid excuse. So there's, Everton made multiple signings under Ancelotti, blended them together. Stupid excuse. So that's the one thing I'm not going to be doing is making dumb excuses. But I will give myself a few more weeks. One thing that won't happen is I won't be rushed into saying Lampard out, because once I'm Lampard out, that will be the end of it. There won't be any swaying.
I actually respect that attitude from Matisse, because when you give a manager that kind of budget, when you give him that time to trust, you give him a season. You don't give him 12 games. You don't give him 13 games. I'm not here to trash talk Chelsea and Lampard. I'm here to big up Arteta and Arsenal today. I'm sorry. Too much shade has been thrown at Arsenal. Too much. Yeah. They've been on the receiving end of too much gas and everything. And you know what? In their biggest game of the season, because every game Arteta plays next is his biggest game, because everyone keeps talking about he's 1 game away from the sack. He's 2 games away from the sack. So the pressure cooker situation that he went into in home, right? Even though you didn't have fans in it, you ain't got fans, have you? No one's got
No,
fans
except
now,
for
yeah.
Liverpool or Everton.
Yeah, except Everton, yeah. So he went into that game and TOBS read out the names, and you'd think, whoa, man, how is he going to get this group of players? And even I tweeted, I'm guilty. I was tweeting, take out Tierney, Xhaka, I can't remember who else, but I was naming about 4 players, and I would say the rest of them you can make a claim and say relegation fodder. Yeah, but bar 3 or 4 bad boys in that team, right? But they didn't play like relegation fodder. And you have to, every time you criticize Arteta for non-performances, you have to big him up for motivating him and playing like the way they played. And I thought it was refreshing to see. As you guys may know, I know Turkish knows, I wasn't an Arteta out per se man. I'm still not Arteta out man. Yeah. I just think, he's not got the tools that all our other managers have.
Facts.
And, he's not got the tools that Man City, Chelsea, Spurs, all our boys, all our coaches have. And as a club as well, he hasn't got the structural support that our clubs have. Yeah, even Spurs. So you can only base him on, different level of criticism, of basing your judgment on him. And he turned it around in that game. I know it's only one game. I know they done something similar to United and then flopped, but I'm still got hope for Arteta because the way they played, the way the guys, younger players motivated. This is why I was anti-Willian signing. This is why I was at the start of the season when people were saying, "Oh, Willian," I was like, that doesn't fit. That's why I couldn't work out if that's Arteta's signings or the board signings, because it doesn't suit Arteta's philosophy. Against Chelsea, we saw Arteta's philosophy. The energy in the players, the pressing, the attacking, that was Arteta's philosophy. And the signings weren't matching that philosophy, according to me. But, I'm ready to give Arteta time, man. I am. But I know it's easy from the outside. I get that as well.
Yeah, I think he needs to go, to be honest. Go on, Turkish.
No, go on, Tob, go on.
I was going to say, I still think he needs to go. That, for me, that win changes. He
needs to go, blood.
I think a lot of those players that he played in that team, it wasn't because he chose to do that. His hand was forced. William was unavailable. David Luiz was unavailable.
Still got to motivate them though, Toby. Still got to motivate them and get them up firing.
Of course, I'm giving him credit for the result. But what I'm saying is his general approach for Arsenal, I still don't think is good enough for them to finish the season on a positive note. That's why I still think me personally, I would still say that they should cut ties with him, because look at Emil Smith Rowe, for instance. You lot played a midweek game against Man City. You got flogged 4-1. So you don't play the guy who your fan base have been itching to start because you haven't got a number 10, and yet you throw him into the deep end against Chelsea and stuff like that. All of those decisions, it's just a bit iffy for me. Like I don't know. I'm not convinced. It was a great result for Arsenal, but like you said, Turkish, I'm not going to get carried away. As good as Arsenal played, and they did play well, Chelsea were awful, absolutely awful. So with Arteta, as it stands now, I still think he needs to go.
Yeah, I'm looking at January now and seeing what we actually get done in the first couple of weeks before.
He will get time. He's not
the jury's still out, and he will get time because he's been backed already. He essentially I've leaned over to more he's a puppet than he's the savior. But me saying he's a puppet or thinking he might be a puppet doesn't hide the fact that you can't judge him accurately because he's not given the same resources and tools like other managers are, and I hold my hands up to that. He's not. Emery wasn't, and Wenger wasn't either. It's a bigger problem. But Steve, I want to ask you something because I haven't heard much from you on the Arsenal match, and it's Xhaka and his comments after. Obviously, a wonderful free kick, top corner. But I've banged on about a mentality character issue at this club for so long. And I'm not sure if you heard it, but Xhaka post-match came out with an interview saying fans have started speaking again and again and again regarding the criticism. And on Instagram, he put a caption saying, actions speak louder than words. And he said it in a way where it's arrogance, in my opinion, with a smirk on his face. Outside looking in as a City fan who's got fuck all to do with Arsenal Football Club, am I being biased? Do I have an agenda, or is there some?
No, I think there's a big problem at Arsenal with the social media, the fans and the players. I think the whole Arsenal TV thing and that got way out of hand.
Steve, I'm going to stop you there, man.
It is.
No, Steve. I know Micah Richards. Hold on. Micah Richards, I know he's a City legend, yeah. Micah Richards, yeah. But that's total bollocks, mate. And Arsenal fan TV.
He asked my opinion from an outside fan looking in. I'm a proper fan. All these idiots throwing chairs about in rooms and that, mate. That doesn't.
How does that affect the team, though? How does that affect the team?
No, what I'm saying, of course it affects the team because, listen, I remember Samir Nasri walking to the Arsenal stadium as a City player getting pure abuse off loads of idiots because the social media had stirred it up that much, saying Nasri was a snake and all that stuff. The guy had to get bundled in a car with security. If you think that's football, then something's wrong. That ain't football. So Xhaka, you're quick to jump on Xhaka when he don't play well, but when he's come out and said that as a bit of a snide move, I think fair play's got a pair of bollocks. And he's having a bit of a go back at the fans.
He's definitely got a pair of bollocks. I agree.
If you give the criticism to the players, you've got to be able to take it from the players when they prove you wrong. Because Arteta was blocked out to dry. They came out, they put in a great performance against Chelsea. He got the result. He's full of. I'd take that as a compliment because he's obviously cares about the club. He's watching the social media presence, so he's obviously seeing what's being said, and he's probably speaking up for some of the players that haven't got a pair of bollocks. And he's thought, you know what? Actions speak louder than words, so I'm off at me. You know what I mean? But Arsenal played well. Arteta, that game did well. You know, I don't know Turkish. What do you think? I mean, do you think are you insulted by him saying that, or are you thinking fair enough? We give it him, he's giving it us.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like overall, I think that highlights the mentality character issue that we have because players are so affected by people online and social media that it shows in their performance or the way they react, you know, like he did with the captain's armband, telling fans to F off, blaming it on fans and opinions and abuse.
Arsenal's the only club I know where I've heard an away section singing about a YouTube channel. That's the only team.
But Steve, the Arsenal fan TV narrative is wrong for me. I don't. What does Arsenal fan TV have to do with the performances on the pitch?
One thing I will say, Steve, is Arsenal fan TV came about maybe 7 years ago, 8 years, I think, in February, and the initial boost for AFTV was Chris Hudson, and that was within the first 6 months, I believe, or 6 to 12 months, and you had a fan there, a true fan like yourself, a match-going fan who's been going for decades, different eras, saw the George Grahams, the Bruce Riochs, the Wengers, to whoever else, who was already so fed up with the club that regardless of AFTV and how long they've been about, he came and he flipped that Gazidis, Wenger so passionately, and that was the first viral video. But at the same time, I do understand now people play on AFTV and utilize it in a way that doesn't help the club.
It's a scapegoat, isn't it? It's a scapegoat.
Listen, I'm not here to slag that off. I'm just saying, in my opinion, that is not my way of doing it. And I just think they're getting a little bit more. It's just getting a bit daft at Arsenal because I see as soon as Arsenal lose, I see everyone going, "Oh, I can't wait for AFTV." Yeah, I don't give a shit about that.
I can't wait. Listen, I can't wait. I don't watch AFTV regularly, but I don't think you can attribute AFTV for Arsenal's failures. I'm
not doing. I'm just saying that Xhaka, as an example. I'm not saying AFTV personally. I'm just saying that Xhaka probably sees a lot of hate from the fans and the groups that are associated with Arsenal, so he's probably fired a little dig back.
Yeah, he has. But Steve, what you need to remember is Granit Xhaka, it's not just Arsenal fans that abuse him. He gets abuse from everyone. He gets abuse from TalkSport. He gets abuse from Sky Sports. He gets abuse from all these platforms because fundamentally his time at Arsenal has been a failure. And I think it's so audacious that after one good performance this season, out of a gazillion awful performances that we've seen in years, he has the audacity to go out and do a post indirecting Arsenal fans. I think it's so cheeky for me.
Probably knows what he's doing. He's probably just pulled the pin off the grenade, rolled it, let it all blow up, and everyone goes mad. And he walks home and has his tea with his nice fit bird.
I think it's cheeky. He needs to shut up and get on with his football.
I disagree. I don't think he needs to shut up. I think he needs to use that energy. I think he needs to use that energy on the pitch. He don't need to shut up. Nobody needs to shut up. If Arsenal fans are going to abuse him, he's got every right to shout back. But show the energy on the pitch. That's what I think Arsenal fans are interested in. I don't think Arsenal fans should be gassed by what he's saying to them. Oh my God, how's he chatting shit to us? we pay his wages. Well, you abuse him as well, guys. The same people that abuse him say you abuse him. He's allowed to say what he wants, acts how he wants, as long as he performs on the pitch. If he doesn't, he'll be dashed out the club, or he should be dashed out the club.
Yeah, but there's a double meaning, though. There's a double meaning. There's a meaning of, what, action do speak louder than words. It can be that. But there's also a timing. And Xhaka, the timing of that Instagram post was probably a bit like, you've just come back for a red card. You've had a good performance. Let's say, maybe he could have come out and said...
He's put pressure on himself. SAEED, he's put pressure on himself to perform. I get that, but that's pretty big bollocks to me. He's showing balls. He's not hiding. He's not covering himself. He's not hiding away from the fact that he knows what's been said about him. I'm going to show you. So you should use that as a positive energy.
You know what's crazy?
Whether he does, that's up to him. If
what's crazy about it? It's crazy. He scored a free kick in that game, and he had a decent game. But what's even worse is a couple minutes before that free kick, maybe 10 minutes, he gave away a free kick from Mason Mount. And the resulting free kick hit the post. So he was literally a fraction away from going from a hero
to hero. Yeah.
And this is what I'm trying to say with him. Like, the guy has not been consistent his entire Arsenal career. Of course he's gonna get abused, but that's the nature of football.
He's got 9 lives, mate. He's got 9 lives. Imagine
if you're playing poorly and you're at Arsenal,
mate.
A big club, you're gonna get abused. You're gonna get
no. I'm not saying you're not allowed to abuse him or criticize him. So you shouldn't abuse anyone.
Yeah, but 100%. What I'm saying is, I agree. What I'm saying is, I felt like him putting out that post is cheeky because he's not cheeky.
I think he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
Get on with football. Simple as. We're forgetting that this is the same Xhaka who swore at the fans a year and a half ago when they were criticizing for another performance.
Bloody hell. I'm surprised it came from that top off, mate. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, that would have been the last part of his career.
I did tell you lot that Xhaka reads my messages, right? I think I said that a couple of weeks ago.
I don't remember. Did he?
Okay, so Xhaka reads my messages, but basically a year ago, Xhaka actually messaged me. I came out of a meeting at about 8:05, and on the lock screen of your phone it says wants to send a message. It was Granit Xhaka. I opened it, but the message had already been unsent, so he deleted it. But it said allow, block, or something at the bottom, so it shows he tried. I messaged him straight away. I said, like what's the problem? Like, talk to me, innit? He didn't reply, but he's read messages ever since, and I don't abuse him. No. I just give my honest opinion. And after the red card, this is what I messaged him. One of you experienced players needs to come out and speak. Lead, ! Everyone wants to hide in this team. I said, tell us the truth. The club is not right, and it hasn't been for years. He read that within 5 minutes. And for me, he then came out 2 weeks later and said, actions speak louder than words, off the back of a 90-minute game, when I would love the attitude, because that's my sort of attitude, but I wouldn't prematurely say it. I'd wait till the season's finished. We get champions.
I'm saying.
And then I'm like, where's all them fans talking? Where's all them? Far too often, we as Arsenal fans, as much as I agree we are over the top at times, we get given scraps and we act like it's gold and caviar, So it's such a difficult situation, but obviously it sparks a good debate. And Noel says if you blame AFTV for the failure, then you must credit them
from the outside. We're speaking from other clubs' mindsets. And so we don't know the ins and outs of Xhaka and his club and his fans and the relationship he has with them. But from a general point of view, without knowing deep the actual facts, from a general point of view, if I was giving out to Jordan Henderson every week, I was giving out to Jordan Henderson on social media, forget the abuse, because abuse is wrong for anyone, right? People do it, but it's not right? You can criticize them all day long. Oh my God, sideways passer, where. And if he had a bad boy game and he smacked up Man United and he came out and he said, yeah, what are you saying now? I'd smile. I'd be happy that he's showing some passion, but I would want him to show the same energy for all the rest of the games after that. And I would be happy that he's got the balls to come out. But yes, at the same time, I would want him to perform for my club on a more regular basis. Otherwise, that was empty. Otherwise, that shout was empty. That shout was premature. That shout, there was no need. You idiot! You made your life even more hard for yourself. That's what I'm saying. If Xhaka performs now for the rest of the season or whatever, then I say props to him. But if he doesn't,
He won't.
Then exactly about Tobes. That's what I agree with that.
point.
If he doesn't, then yeah, he needs to be shifted from the club because he's being stupid for no reason, because that's as bad as fans abuse. If you get what I mean, that's just as toxic when players start gassing up fans as well, or doing nasty digs at fans as well. That's just as toxic. But at the moment, from outside, you know, you need to say, "Come on, Xhaka, show us that same energy now for the rest of the games."
I agree with that.
That's the worst thing that come out of it, Matisse,
You're on
man.
mute, Matisse.
Is he on mute?
You're on mute, bro.
Oh yeah, sorry, Matisse. It was me by accident. My bad.
The boys are spot on about the timing, because this for me does show he has bollocks, but it also shows me that he's out of touch. It shows me that he doesn't know the club standards, because to say that when you're in 15th, for me, is just a bit stupid. Like, you haven't proved anything by whacking in a free kick against Chelsea. Yeah, you've won the match, but you're still 15th in the league. So who are you really? What have you proved? Like, all you've proved is that you can come and do something. All you've proved is that you have quality, but you don't show it consistently. That's all you've gone and shown. And for me, when I look at the fandom that surrounds Arsenal, are we going to give them credit when Arsenal are doing well? I mean, if Arsenal now start winning trophies, for me, Arsenal have been poor, so their fandom reflects that. That's just what it is. That is an honest reflection of what is going on. Their team is 15th. I'm not expecting it to be. I'm expecting it to be toxic. Shit, Chelsea on a bad run, and our fan base is toxic right now. So I'm not expecting Arsenal to be anything near anything good. And if Arsenal are playing well and winning trophies, then I'm sure their fan base will reflect it. And we wouldn't give their fan base credit for. You don't give fan bases credit for when teams win trophies. So I don't see why it would go the other way. I think Xhaka, for me, as ballsy as it looks, I think he's going to come back to bite him in the arse, because I don't see him being consistent for the rest of the season. And I think he's just going to look like a mug by the end.
People have made already their minds, haven't they? People have made their minds about Xhaka, so it's not going to change, is it? You know,
he's not good enough.
It's 4 years, isn't it? It's not like we made it up after one. You know, it's 4 years, and ever since him and Mustafi have come to the club, we haven't made Champions League football. You know,
that's damning. That
it came summer 2016, 4 years since. And that was our big outlay that summer, a central midfielder and a central defender, where it looked like we, you know, were trying to fix the problems at last. But let me just read this out before going to predictions, because we're already over the time. Noel said, if you blame AFTV for the failures, you must credit them for the club's success. Robbie made the channel in 2011. Drought ended in 2014. By that logic, we must thank Robbie for ending the drought. And I get what you're saying, Noel, and I understand all comments, to be honest, because Arsenal fans are like no other two. A lot of us, and I say us because I am an Arsenal fan, feed off of this frenzy, this clickbait nature of the fan base, and this social media hype, and it doesn't help. It doesn't particularly help someone like me, who's actually trying to bang on about the true problems at the club and the board, and direct all the anger towards them, because banter takes over. You know, the social media frenzy takes over. The direction from
and the different generations, isn't there? You know, I mean, we're a generation that we've seen, you know, kind of the successes and whatnot, and we've seen the good times. A lot of fans have seen a lot of bad times now, man. You know, look at the Arsenal. You know, as much as you won FA Cups and whatnot, the Premier League has been poor. You know, for us, we've been on the periphery for so long. Tottenham as well. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things going on right now that are a kind of a symptom of, like, you know, everyone's just frustrated. And this young generation, they're bringing out stats, they're bringing out this and that. But listen, mate, all I care about is winning trophies, guys. Forget all the stats, forget all this, who's better than who. Let's have a common goal of to win trophies. And when everyone has that common goal, and everyone starts not being like FCs and, you know, all this FCs and whatnot, player FCs, when everyone starts to become a common goal of winning trophies, then I tell you what, mate, the whole social media, all that nonsense will go out the window, because everyone is just focused on winning trophies. And that's the bottom line, man.
When it's all said and done, when you're collecting your memories at the end of the day for what your football club has been doing, it's all about what you've been winning and what are the big moments that you remember. No one ain't remember who rep what player to the hill till they die, whether you rep Ozil till the end. No one cares. You ain't going to tell your grandkids that you repped Ozil on Twitter.com. Simple as that. So until trophies come through the door, then ain't nobody giving two shits about the rest of it, to be honest. And that's really the brutal situation of it.
Yeah, 100%. And we've got a few more predictions to do before we wrap it up. Obviously, the Chelsea Villa game has gone past. We missed that one. Everton, Man City's been postponed. We're on Brighton, Arsenal. I'm going to go for a 1-1. I think, we haven't beaten Brighton in the last 4 attempts. They're a bit of a bogey team for us now. They beat us home and away last season. they're a team that can cause problems, but I do think that they will just, set up shop and our lack of quality in the middle, in comparison to Chelsea, who tried to take the game to us, and hence the result. It'll be a completely different game. So I'll say 1-1 against Brighton. And Steve, what's your prediction?
I think Arsenal will win. I think Arsenal win 2-1. Just think that off the back of that result against Chelsea, got to get them going now. So yeah, I think Arsenal win 2-1.
2-1, SAEED.
Yeah, I want to back Arsenal again, mate. 2-0 to Arsenal. I think Brighton's last result. Can anyone guess?
Draw.
Arsenal last time, the reverse fixture. So, Brighton have got an absolute terrible record, mate. So I'm going to go with 2-0 to Arsenal. And yeah, I think they'll carry on this momentum.
2-0 Arsenal. Toby?
I'm going to go for a draw. I think Brighton are a very expressive side and they will create chances against Arsenal. But in typical fashion, it's a case of how many of these chances can Brighton take. I think Arsenal have the quality to hurt them, but I don't think it's all going to change overnight with Arsenal. I like the Chelsea performance, but I'm yet to be convinced that this is the springboard for monumental success. So I'm going to go for 2-2.
2-2 TOBS. GRIZZ, Brighton, Arsenal.
I'm backing my Arsenal, man. My second team, Arsenal, man. I'm backing my Arsenal, bro. I'm looking. I'm going to carry on with this 2-1 score lines, bro. 2-1.
It has to be a tight one anyway. That's the only thing we can predict for Arsenal. Matisse.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a draw as well. I don't think it's a turning point, to be honest. I think really we were just really shit. So that's just. I know Arsenal played well, but for me, I think if I'm taking Arsenal's last 10 games, I'm not going to take the one outlier as the change. I think we were just terrible, and I think Brighton will play better than we did.
Where are you going for, 1-1 or 2-2?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1-1, low scoring.
1-1. Well, listen, you man have given Xhaka a chest all of a sudden, so let me see what this guy brings to the table next up. And before we do the final predictions for Man United Wolves, obviously apologies to SAEED and Steve, we couldn't really discuss the City Newcastle win and the United draw, but we'll do prediction. There's 2,000 people here, so hit the like button.
Big up, man.
Come on, it's getting bigger and better every single week. So hit the like button before we move on to Man United Wolves, and we'll start with SAEED for the prediction.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game, man. I think they gave Jose Mourinho football a lesson, mate. Kept the ball well. You know what I mean? They were good in. Honestly, man, I don't know why you're laughing, Toby. I think they give you a football lesson there.
No, I agree.
You agree? Okay, fair enough. You know what I mean? I thought Neto, mate. You know that guy, Neto, mate. He's a problem, you know. Yeah. The way he just reminds me of Messi, man. The way he's just close control, man, on the ball.
I love him.
You remind you of Messi, as you just say that.
No, I'm just saying the way he's got the close control.
Big Steve on him.
I'm not saying it's Messi.
Big Steve is like ready.
You know what I mean? Steve was. I know he's not coming to City, by the way. Just relax. You know what I mean?
Do you know what?
He reminds me of like a young Gareth Bale. The way he's so direct with his pace, he just goes and goes and goes.
I went even because I'm old. I went even further back. I said Damien Duff. He reminds me of Damien Duff in his heyday.
Oh, wow. Damien Duff. So he's going down.
I don't see the Duff. I just feel like, you know, for me, you know, they gave a lot of quality in there. I thought Connor Cody is solid, man. Solid as a get. I think the weekly will be Semedo again. I think Rashford on Semedo. Hopefully we can win that battle. But I think it'll be Cajun, man. You know what? I think this will be a close one. You know, I'm going for 2-1 United. We don't really do like 2-1s, you know. We're rather convinced, you know, we draw. So, yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 United. I think Bruno, you know, it'll be the difference again. You know what I mean? Probably the best player in the world right now, if you really look at him, man. He's on form.
Calm down. Why'd you have to do this every week, bro?
No, but it's true, though.
Wild.
No, but it's true, though. Bruno is the best player in the world right now, on form.
Oh, Lord, Jesus Christ! You can't.
No, seriously.
You can't just leave.
It's not right or wrong. Am I right or wrong? No, but Chris, you can back me up on this one. Is Bruno the best player in the world right now?
No, he's not.
No, of course not.
Oh,
what am I smoking weed or something?
So who's the best player in the world right now?
Yo, pass it.
So what? Lewandowski's playing golf. Solid.
Listen, you don't watch Lewandowski, mate. You don't watch Lewandowski. So don't just put names out like that. You don't watch Lewandowski week in, week out. You watch Bruno week in, week out.
Oh my
I watch Bruno more than I watch Lewandowski. Doesn't mean Bruno's better than Lewandowski because I watch.
I mean, you're putting out names out just for the.
I just said Salah as well. I said Salah.
Salah, man, come on, man. He's hit and miss this season, man.
Saeed,
Bruno, right now.
12 goals in the
Saeed,
season. You're saying he's been hit and miss. Are you crazy?
Saeed, you're going to the Europa League in February. You do realise that,
Doesn't matter. Forget about all that. Forget about that.
All of these
Player-wise, doesn't matter all this and right now, though, is Bruno the best player in the world right now?
See, the thing is, I'm disappointed in Matisse and TOBS. I'm disappointed in you two. I'm disappointed in you two.
Why?
Look at the way you reacted to him. I just sat here and just looked at him back. When he asked me, "Chris, back me up on this," did I back him? You not bit.
Look at this man.
What, do you want us to just not say anything
when he says Bruno's the best player in the world, you know he's asking.
No, I'm saying right now, though. Listen, I'm not even trying to put stats.
He's being serious. It's not a joke.
No, but I'm being serious.
Okay, I'm serious too.
The guy just compared Neto to Messi, so that is all you need to know about that.
No, but I can't believe you. You know what it is, yeah?
Matisse has put his mask on.
Bruno agenda going on here. Bruno right now, has for me is on form, on fire.
He's one of the best players currently in the Premier League on form.
Who is better than the world right now, though? You tell me.
We've just given you names and you said no.
No, but you're saying it off like value of Lewandowski.
I'm not saying off value. I'm saying it off performances, bro. I watched Lewandowski a couple weeks back against Dortmund.
A couple weeks back.
I watched Mo Salah
right now, mate.
I'm talking right now. I've watched Mo Salah this season.
What I will say, Saeed, what I will say is, and I've given you praise that he's one of the best players in the Premier League. What I will hold back again. Look at Matisse, he's gone mad. But what I will say,
what is it, Havertz? Yeah, is it Werner? Is it Havertz? There's no Havertz right there, mate. I don't know why you're looking at Havertz and Werner. They're not in this situation.
What I will say, and what I will ask you, in question back to you, throw it back to you, is in games where it counts in the big games, Chelsea, Leipzig, Spurs. Is it you played Spurs? What was it? The other team you played? Right. Man City. Has he changed that game? Has he come out and been the match winner in these games? You know, the great players, the greatest players come out in the big games and have clutch moments. Beating the likes of whoever you've beaten, you know, you've beaten Fulham or you've beaten wherever. I don't know because I don't follow your club that close, but scoring goals or stat padding or scoring penalties against all these clubs.
No. I'm not saying
that doesn't count. You know, you have clutch moments.
No.
I want you to tell me a clutch moment in a big game against a big club recently to make you say that he's the best player in the world.
I think he's provided half the goals since he's been at this football club. Yeah,
I'm not interested in that.
Contributions. I'm not
interested in that. I just told you in the big moments, the greatest players, the likes of KDB, the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, the likes of Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, I could tell you clutch moments, bang, 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 big game, bang. I'm asking you, against Leipzig, he was needed. Am I right, brothers? He was needed against Leipzig. Yeah, they needed.
Where was Salah yesterday? Answer the question. Where was Salah yesterday?
Yes, there wasn't a big game. I get your pin. Yes, there wasn't a big game.
To Liverpool, it was a big game, though. It says getting the 3 points.
Nah,
you're talking about
it wasn't a big game. It wasn't a big game.
No.
I get your point around trying to big up Bruno because his goal contribution in terms of
I picked him up
is insane. I would even hear that on form he's probably the best attacking player in the league. Even though
I'm doing right now.
Even though Kevin De Bruyne is miles ahead of him. But
I said right now. I never said in the best in the world ever. I said right now, Bruno Fernandes is the best player.
No, he's not though. He's not though. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. He's not been better than Son this season. He's not been better than Kane this season. He's not been better than Salah this season. He's not been better than Grealish this season. That's 4 players just in the league.
You guys are undermining what Bruno has done for Man United this season.
Undermining it.
Without Bruno Fernandes,
and you're undermining the rest of the world.
No. Yeah, but you're not watching this. Have you been watching him and what he's been providing this season?
I have.
Listen, there's only one decent Bruno in this world, and it's Frank.
Listen, I'll give it 2-1 anyway. 2-1.
Yeah, this was meant to be just predictions, and you said
No,
something.
but I said my opinion. Yeah, you might just went, yo.
Going and
No,
I didn't. I must say, no, you can't say me. I didn't respond to your initial comment. I said, yeah, until you said, Grizz, back me on this, and I couldn't, bro.
You know what it is, yeah, for me, yeah. You don't realize.
I accept your opinion. I accept
No,
your
you don't
opinion.
realize what impact Bruno Fernandes has had on the
Bruno's
squad.
quality. Don't get me wrong.
And
He's not the
what
best
he's
player
got
in the
this
world.
season, the goal contributions, the goals that he's got this season, he's the best midfielder in the world right now.
No, you said the best.
The more
player.
times you
said the
say
best
it doesn't make
player.
it true.
You're changing it.
You know what I mean?
Listen,
You can't keep
carry on
saying
anyway,
it
carry
over
on.
and over
Who's
again. Like, oh yeah, fair enough. Fair
Who's
enough.
next?
Who's next?
Yeah, so, Toby.
You know what? Yeah, he said it for the
Toby.
5th time. Spot on. Spot on.
Listen, I know what my opinion is. I don't change my opinion. Right now, Bruno is the best midfielder, but go on.
Okay, all right. My prediction. So they're at home. I'm going for a Man United win, man. I think they'll have enough to beat Wolves. I'm going for a Man United 3-1.
3-1 Wolves. Let's move on to Grizz.
Yeah, I'm backing Man United. As I said, the Leicester result, they should have won that, man. They should have had 3-4 chances, and that overrated hype merchant, Anthony Martial again let them down, man. He's overrated.
Hold on.
Rashford was on that.
He's got 6 goal involvements in the last 3 games. How is that overrated?
If Man United fans,
you've got an agenda against Martial and United, mate. 6 goal involvements.
No, because I'm about to. No, I'll tell you what I haven't. I haven't got an agenda against Man United because I'm about to tell you the how to fix all this. Edison Cavani. Play Edison Cavani instead of Martial, and what's the difference? What's the difference in his movement? What's the difference in his intelligence? Cavani's your man, but I'm happy that you keep picking Martial. No problem, keep playing Martial.
I'm not saying about it, but you said it's overrated.
No, I'm happy. No, I'm happy.
It's overrated, though.
In my opinion, he's overrated. He's overrated. I still think Man United got enough because Bruno is in good form. I'm not saying he's not good form. You took it too personally. I'm saying Bruno is one of the best players in the Premier League. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to take away the fact that he's one of the best. I just think, that the other shout was a bit too mad. But I'm still going with Man United. I think 2-1. Again, I'm going to stick with my 2-1. This week is the 2-1 week. Remember that. This one is a 2-1 week.
2-1. Matisse, what's your prediction?
I'm gonna go wild and say like a 3-2 Wolves because I just think NATO is the next Messi. So who am I to go against Messi?
No, I said he plays like Messi. I didn't say he's Messi.
Well, then he's gonna play like Messi against you. So I'm gonna go 3-2.
3-2 Wolves and Steve.
I can see United winning that one. 2-1. I'm going for 2-1 like Grizz.
2-1, and I'm gonna go with a 2-2 draw. I think. Yeah, I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw, sit on the fence. But I think there's going to be goals in that game. And that's pretty much the predictions done. Everton, Man City postponed. Chelsea, Villa 1-1 already done. And this has been, a 90-minute special. Sorry about that, lads, for running over time. Obviously, wild statements coming out can extend the show by 15 minutes.
Yeah, we need to address wild statements, man.
You get me last time. I had to put it in there. You get me?
The Instagram is ready. The Twitter is ready. I need to start cutting out clips and putting it in there.
I'm not even here for that. I know that Bruno Fernandes is the best midfielder right now in the world. Right now, we're talking about right now in this position. Right now, he's the best in the world, and you can't deny that.
Saying it again, my ears are bleeding.
Listen,
I'm not even a bother.
President player, now you're saying you can only dream of Bruno in your team. When you got Shai Havertz and finding Timo, mate. You know what I mean? Like you can only dream. You can only dream, mate. You can only dream.
Bruno is 28 years of age. Behave yourself.
But people, love for tuning in. Like I said, 2,000 people tuning in live. Make sure you hit the like button before you go. Get it up to 1,000 likes. This has been the Big Six again. This is the final one for the year as well. I think we're going to be back Friday. I believe Chelsea are playing at 8 p.m. on Friday. So hopefully we can bring you this midday on Friday.
We're playing Friday as well.
Yeah, so if I can do
it. I think.
Oh, yeah. No, it's United playing at 8, I think.
Yeah,
so if we can do this around midday on Friday or 1 p.m., I'll talk to you guys offline.
Yeah, I'm free.
But yeah, people, obviously subscribe, follow all of these channels, Instagram handles, Twitter handles. All of that is in the description box below. Like, share, subscribe, tag us on Instagram, tag us on Twitter. do all of that stuff, people. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. We'll be back Friday midday. Look out for that and set your reminders.